Good evening. Tonight is dedicated to the memory of Josiah Gaten Jenkins. Josiah was a most beloved Daybreak baby, and his wonderful mother, Latoya, shared her story of life and hope at a banquet just like this several years ago. After his birth, Latoya became a volunteer with our youth program, where she mentored and loved middle school girls every week, pouring out her heart to show students the love that they needed. On March 11, 2014, Josiah was tragically killed by a drunk driver. This heartbreaking loss was a key impetus in passing Emma's Law, which will save countless lives from drunk drivers in the future. Like many little boys, Josiah loved cars and playing with his mother's keys. An incredibly bright child who loved to read and who loved storytelling. He loved to pretend to read the Bible and he loved to go to church. He was the love of his mother's life. Latoya has compared Josiah's short but full 3 years on this earth to the fact that Jesus only had 3 years of ministry before his crucifixion. After his death, Latoya wrote the following in a note to Daybreak. Please continue to share the story of me and Josiah to girls and women to encourage them to appreciate the life of their child. Tell them that no matter how afraid they may be, that the life growing inside them is precious and God truly has a purpose. We're honored to have Latoya and her family here tonight. To continue to honor this precious life, and thanks to a grant from the Lipscomb Foundation, our youth program will now be offering the Josiah Jenkins Scholarship to students who participate in our after-school clubs for boys and girls. We were honored to know Josiah, and we are honored to know his incredible mother, Latoya. And we know that the effect of his life will continue to make ripples throughout eternity. Thank you.
This time I'd like to introduce our Deputy Director, Megan Hammond, to give you her recommendation on success of the village.
Hey, good evening. See you all here tonight. I'm sure some of you have heard what Mark Twain has said about birthdays. He said, age is an issue of mind over matter. You don't mind, it doesn't matter. Since this is a birthday celebration, may I wish you a happy birthday. Daybreak is all about birthdays, because Daybreak feels everyone deserves a birthday. This belief is derived from countless babies who never get to see their birthday, who never get to take their first breath, much less a breath to blow out birthday candles. That's why, day after day, for 31 years, Daybreak seeks to talk to these young, scared women facing an unplanned pregnancy who see no other alternative but abortion. That's why Daybreak intervenes for the lives of these babies by supporting that mother to choose life for her baby. That's why Daybreak male mentors seek to talk to the anxious, scared young men that come in and talk to them about stepping up to the plate and being the protector and man that God is calling him to be. And that's why Daybreak has a medical program that seeks to talk to these scared, unsure parents and show them the first glimpse of their baby through ultrasound in hopes of bringing realization to the reality of this life. That's why Daybreak teaches free childbirth and parenting classes. An Earn While You Learn program offers baby clothes, diapers, formulas, maternity clothes, everything that young mom and dad need to be the best parents they can be, even though they may not be ready to be. That's why Daybreak seeks to prevent teen pregnancy through our youth program to ensure these young people aren't parents before they're ready to face that responsibility. That's why Daybreak added a new dynamic to our youth program this year called Tactics, because we want to reach the teenage boys as well as the teenage girls. We want these kids to know that God has a plan for their lives, that He loves them, and even if they have made some less than God-honoring decisions, even devastating decisions, that God forgives them and has a plan of restoration and redemption for them. It's because of your support last year, Daybreak was able to manage 20 after-school clubs in 5 school districts in 4 counties throughout the Midlands, in reaching 560 kids through our youth program, in addition to 1,875 students who are reached through our abstinence speaking initiative. And that's why Daybreak made over 2,000 touches in people's lives. Saw over 1,700 women for pregnancy testing and counseling by performing 557 ultrasounds, by mentoring 164 boyfriends, all so that the 216 women who were considering abortion, that 133 of them would choose life. That is cause for celebration. 133 celebrations. Let's see what 133 lives looks like. their Lord and Savior. instrumental in establishing our medical program back in 2001. Performing ultrasounds has always been central in changing the lives of women who were considering abortions. And for 13 years, Dr. Odom has supervised our medical program by reviewing our ultrasounds as our medical director. Tonight, we just want to thank Dr. Odom for his many years of service to Daybreak. We thought of getting a plaque, but I thought that might end up in an attic here in a few years. So we opted for a picture that talks about the well done, good and faithful service signed by our Daybreak people. Patty has served as a hotline volunteer, volunteer counselor, and then the Columbia director for, I know she doesn't look at it, for 23 years. Patty, thank you for all the babies you saved, all the lives you touched, all the souls you brought over. And thank you for the graciousness and elegance that you graced us all with. You've served all these years to the Lord at Daybreak. I want to share with you tonight some of the actual stories of lives that have been saved and changed through the ministry of Daybreak.
On the way to the gym, as a 20-year-old, he stared hard at an oncoming vehicle, and after a terrible head-on collision, he survived. At 16, on his first day at work, on his very first job, he stared at the barrel of a gun during the robbery. He survived. On the path to having all of his parts divinely knitted together, in what was supposed to be the safest place on earth, he was threatened by the same tragedy taking the lives of more than 56 million babies since 1973. He survived. If you've never before believed that God knew you before you were born, then you've never seen such a miracle. If you've ever doubted that you were born to live an abundant life, then you're in for a treat. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to introduce our speaker, Henry Flowers IV. He's a husband to Rebecca and 5 wonderful children, and he is a living testimony to the fact that God watches over all of his children.
And then I saw his face change again. But he didn't change his mind. I said, well, tell me what you think about it. He said, man, I still just got too much going on. And it's just not a good timing for us. So you know what I did, don't you? You know what I did next, don't you? You know what I did next, right? See, he needed to see that there was actually life going on, and that it wasn't just a whole bunch of cells jumped together. And so what I did was I took him back and took him to the ultrasound room, and his fiance was there. And you will love what happened next. As a matter of fact, I want him to tell you what happened next. Will you please welcome Chris, Kanae, and Kaden Tucker. Clap your hands, y'all, as you welcome them to the stage. And Perry began to ask me these questions while we were producing this DVD, and he got to this one question that just, I really wasn't prepared for. He says, so Henry, after the abortion attempt, you found out all that kind of stuff, and tell me, man, what were you thinking? I mean, your mom tried to take you out. Yeah, and like, you lived with her from there on. Like, when you found out about it, how'd you feel about your mom? And I've had so many people ask me that same question after listening and watching the DVD. How do you feel about your mom? And I can tell you how I feel about my mom, folks, but quite honestly, I'd rather tell her. Will you welcome to the stage my mother, Deborah Sargent. How you doing? This is my mother, Deborah Sargent. And Perry asked me that question, and I was in front of a bunch of lights like this, and there was a black backdrop behind us like this, and he asked me, Henry, how do you feel about your mom? Mom, I want to tell you how I feel about you. Mom, I love you. You are. You are the best thing that ever happened to me. And we struggled. You struggled to raise 3 kids on your own. On the streets of Detroit, we struggled. It was so hard, no? We were on welfare, moving around from place to place, and no father in the house, and it was just hard, y'all. But my mama stood for life. She made the choice for life. And not only am I here because she stood for life, the Tucker family is here because she stood for life. Had I not been there that day at Daybreak, Lord knows what would have happened. And it's possible that Caden would not be here. You want to know what I think about my mother? Well, I love you. Because you are a champion and you represent what it means to take a stand for life. Will you all with me on my mother? Tell us in just a few minutes, what do you think your life would have been like had you had a Daybreak Ministries to be able to come alongside and serve?
Well, for one thing, I think it had been a whole lot easier for me being a young teenage mother with 3 children with no family support. You thought it was rough. I thought it was miserable. But through God's grace, God's love and strength that kept me through and let me know that God is almighty, and I just had to do what I could do to support my children, and that's what I did. If a Daybreak had been in my life, I know I would have been a much happier person and raised been a better person.
We could have used them baby books. I'm telling you.
Give me some baby books.
Give me some of that, man.
Whatever. I needed it then, but
Like with the formula, something, man. Something would help.
we made it through.
We made it through, Mom. And you know why we made it through? Because you took a stand for life, and you remind me of what happens when we look at John chapter 10, verse 10. Jesus is speaking, and he says, the thief only comes to kill and steal and destroy. But I have come so that you may have, listen to this, folks. My purpose is to give you a rich and satisfying life. And Mama, I'm just telling you, because you took a stand for life, I have a rich and satisfying life. I have a wife who loves me relentlessly. I have children who adore me. And I have a platform to be able to speak into the lives of people all over the world and tell everyone that we all deserve a birthday. Yes, I say, because I'm happy, and I say, because I'm free, and I saw the sparrow. the opportunity for you to respond. I'm not asking you to respond to a need because, folks, quite frankly, there will always be needs. I'm asking you to respond to God as He challenged you to help Daybreak Ministries continue to take a stand for life. Whether you give $100, $1,000 or more, but just know that your gift will mean that there will be somebody alive next year who wouldn't have been because of Daybreak Ministries. And this ministry directly saves lives, and you today have seen the proof positive, not just in myself, but in that cutester over there, Kate Tucker. Don't be running out the room, boy. Anytime you go, you're cute, stay on over there. I ain't done talking about you yet. Kate, he don't like me very much. That kind of makes me mad. He scared me. I didn't do that to him. So you see it today. 2013, through our various programs, this ministry also touched the lives of women, men, and children, to say nothing of the 133 babies that are alive because of Daybreak. And this is how God works among us when we take a stand for life. You've heard the testimonies, you've heard the board chairman and executive director's reports. Now's the time, ladies and gentlemen, where we have the opportunity to join God in making this work happen for another year. So before your table hosts gives you a response card, I simply want us to pray. And here's what we're going to pray about. So your pledge envelopes contain several specific requests, and I'm simply asking you to pray about each request. Pray about each request. First, I ask you to pray about giving a one-time gift. Your one-time gift can supply such needs as the abstinence curriculum for the after-school programs, for routine maintenance and supplies for both centers, the one downtown Columbia and the one in Lexington, and also for the sign on the highway that can draw so many people into Daybreak who otherwise would never know that we're here. And secondly, the card asks you to respond with a monthly gift. So why give monthly? Well, because Daybreak has monthly bills to pay. This is not rocket science, this is awesome. We got bills to pay monthly. I mean, every year we go to Daybreak, or every year somebody from Daybreak, every month somebody from Daybreak goes to SCE&G, and SCE&G says, hey, in God we trust, but all others pay cash. That's what they say. And so, monthly expenses will be taken care of with your monthly giving. And finally, the leadership gift. Very big. All organizations need someone who can step up and lead the way by providing gifts that will establish new programs, allow for growth, and challenge others to become leaders. And those are needs. But remember, don't respond just because there's a need. Respond because you see God's hand at work, and you want to be a part of that work. That's why you respond. This banquet has historically raised 1/3 of the funds necessary to support Daybreak. And today our goal is $175,000. And I believe we will exceed that goal. Do you believe that as well? Say yes. So pray with me and let's ask God what He will allow you or your spouse with you to give tonight to help us reach that goal. This is 1 Thessalonians